Hi, welcome to SafariDesktops Live event. I'm Jeremy Wallace, and this is
Crystal Jr.
we're senior cloud and infrastructure engineers here at Safari Micro, and we're coming to you live from the Safari Micro office here in Chandler, Arizona. So thanks for joining us today as we talk about our new desktop as a service offering. Safari Micro has been around for over 25 years and has become a leader in IT services nationwide. As you can see, we're really excited about this new Safari offering. Our desktop as a service uses a proven cloud virtualization technology known as Windows Virtual Desktop, or WVD. To give you a brief, simple overview of how virtual desktops work, here's a video.
All right, let's play it.
With Safari Desktops, it starts with the cloud. Highly secure, state-of-the-art cloud data center supported and managed by one of the industry's leading tech giants. It is here your virtual desktop lives, securely connected to your company's network where it has access to all the company data and resources needed. This virtual desktop contains the speed and power you need, equipped with a full Windows 10 enterprise experience, your work applications, and your work data and files. Enhanced with the powerful tools and services of Microsoft 365, you have access to both the desktop and web versions of the Microsoft Office applications. Get more done with a 50GB cloud mailbox for enterprise-quality email and calendaring. Work efficiently with others through video, voice, and messaging through Microsoft Teams, and keep your files in OneDrive's 1TB storage, giving you access to your files when you need it from virtually anywhere. And enjoy the peace of mind brought to you by the security of Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection and the cloud-based security features that consistently protect your hard work from danger and unauthorized access. Take comfort in knowing that behind the scenes, Safari Micro's managed services is maintaining, monitoring, and supporting your virtual desktop, keeping your desktop up to date and working the way you need it to. And if you do run into trouble, they'll be there to help you through it. Your virtual desktop takes advantage of a secure connection technology known as Reverse Connect, allowing you to securely access your virtual desktop without opening up security holes into your company or home network. And here's the best part. Securely access your virtual desktop from anywhere there's an internet connection, from nearly any device, whether it's a personal computer that runs Windows or Mac OS, or an inexpensive company thin client or Chromebook, or even an Android tablet or iPad, or an iPhone or Android mobile device like Samsung Galaxy Phone or Google Pixel. Whether you're in the office, at home, or on the road, or anywhere in between, take advantage of the speed, power, tools, services, and support of Safari Desktops.
Great overview. I really like Reverse Connect. That new technology really is exciting. So I've been hearing about this Forrester survey that working in virtual desktops is going to be growing like crazy. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. That survey you're talking about was done on behalf of Microsoft, and in it they found that business and IT decision makers expect virtual desktop usage to grow from the current 47% of employees working in virtual desktop environments today to a whopping 61% in the next 5 years.
Holy mackerel. So the companies surveyed are expecting more than half of their workforce to be using virtual desktops?
Yeah, in fact, Forrester did a complete total economic impact report that even details the financial benefits found in using cloud-based WVD virtual desktops.
That's interesting. What does this report exactly show?
Well, in that report, there were these large organizations who had already made the shift to an internal virtual desktop infrastructure. So that is, they bought these massive servers, they built and configured it themselves utilizing VDI technologies like VMware, Remote Desktop Services, or Citrix to deliver those virtual desktops to their users.
Right. Adoption of internal VDI solutions has become very popular in the last several years. That's all people want to talk about, discuss, find out more information about.
Right. So these organizations that had existing VDI infrastructure housed internally were, by migrating to cloud-based virtual desktops, they were able to reduce their prior VDI licensing and infrastructure costs by 34%, eliminating a lot of the costs associated with licensing, on-premise server maintenance fees, and network and power costs.
34%, that sounds like my kind of savings.
And because of these, the ease of working over a cloud-based virtual desktop solution like WVD compared to on-premises VDI, these organizations saw cost savings of 59% annually on IT deployment and maintenance expenses. Things like 28% reduction in IT workload costs for applications and software deployment and maintenance support, 28% reduction in workload costs for help desk management, 78% reduction in security access and patch management expenses, and 78% reduction in OS and deployment maintenance expenses.
Whoa, that's massive. What else did the report show?
So it actually showed increased productivity of 22 person hours per user annually. So let's take a deployment of 1,200 monthly active users. So these are 1,200 users that are using the virtual desktop on a daily basis, monthly basis. That meant that company would add back 26,000 plus person hours of productivity annually that they otherwise lost waiting on things like connectivity issues and things like that.
We're in short.
And so a lot of these improvements were due to connectivity, onboarding, and security response as a result of that cloud virtualization desktop technology.
Very interesting. That's a lot of productivity gained back. When you add up the total users, we all know time is money. So how big of an improvement in security response was seen?
Right, so they actually saw a security response of 90%, 96% faster. Because of that, employees that experience security issues would gain nearly 23 productive hours back that would have been otherwise wasted on dealing with those security issues.
96% faster? That's astonishing. What are some of the other benefits found?
So the larger benefits that we see that were unquantified, so these didn't really have like number dollar values added, but they were seen as benefits, were the user experience. So with WVD Cloud Desktop Virtualization, users felt their desktop experience more closely matched that of using like a laptop computer instead of their old and previous on-premise VDI. Also, other benefits include scalability and organizational resiliency, improving the productivity in response to crisis situations.
Crisis situations. I think we're all familiar with that. COVID-19 pandemic, for example?
Yeah, a huge example that affected the entire world. A great quote included in the study from a government CIO was, "It changed the way we deliver IT services by offering greater flexibility. We expanded remote users from 200 to 5,000 overnight during COVID-19. So they were prepared to shift to a work from home environment, as well as the ability to scale and continue to provision services despite unexpected disruptions.
Okay. So what you're saying is moving from a traditional VDI environment to a cloud-based environment is going to have massive amounts of savings and benefits in the long run.
Right, and cloud-based virtualization takes the benefits of VDI that a lot of people have already become familiar with and goes above and beyond.
Okay, that makes sense. And if I already have a VDI environment, this would be hugely beneficial. However, what about organizations that haven't introduced a VDI solution? I know some people are still confused about the complexity of introducing this virtualized desktop infrastructure. How can cloud virtualization help these people?
Yeah, for organizations that have not yet moved to a virtual desktop environment, the idea of doing so may seem vastly overwhelming, right? And this is where our desktop as a service especially shines.
So now we're talking about SafariDesktops, right?
Right.
Could you explain what desktop as a service is? There might be some people out there that aren't familiar with these newer cloud terms.
Yeah, I'd be happy to explain what desktop as a service is. To understand, we really need to look at the as a service terms. So let's use a popular analogy that can be thought of in terms of pizza.
I love pizza.
Right. So let's say traditional on-premise desktop solutions are such as like buying a bunch of laptops and desktops and server hardware where your internal IT staff has to build and manage and support it all, is like someone who makes pizza at home, right?
Yeah.
So they go out and they buy all the ingredients for the pizza, they come home, they use their kitchen, their mixer, their roller, their pizza dough, and they put it all together. They put together that dough, the sauce and the meats and the cheeses, and then they put that pizza in the oven, set the timer, and when the timer goes off, they take the pizza out, they cut it up, and they serve it, right?
In that case, everything about the pizza is on them. This is complicated. A lot of effort is put forth, and a lot can go wrong by making and baking and serving it. Got it?
Right. So then the cloud concept of infrastructure as a service comes in. So it's like having a communal kitchen.
Okay.
Say there's a business that rents you their kitchen, their roller, their mixer, their oven, and electricity to run it all, right? So you still bring your own ingredients, you still have to go buy it and bring it, and you still make that pizza there, but you're using their stuff to do it.
Okay.
You put it in the oven, you still take it out yourself, you cut it up, you serve it.
Okay, so infrastructure as a service, I'm providing the kitchen on which I can build my servers.
Right.
They're providing the hardware, the operating system, the security, the power, etc. But I can build whatever I want using the tools and resources that they're providing me.
Right, and that brings us to the idea of software as a service. So in terms of pizza, this is where a company is providing the ingredients, the kitchen, the tools, and even the cooks that take those tools and ingredients, they make the pizza, they cook it, they take it out of the oven, they cut it up, and they serve it to you. And once you've been served the pizza, you can do whatever you want with it. You can eat it, you can give it to a friend, throw it away, whatever you want to do.
All right. So this pizza analogy is great, but do you have a technical example for us?
Yeah, for software as a service, a great example has been email. So a popular thing to do was to host and manage your own email servers that provided email service to everyone in the organization, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Internal IT departments would order the hardware, build the servers, install the operating system, install the mail service, maintain and manage those servers, have to manage their security, the upgrades,
Headaches,
the backups, their high availability to prevent outages. Everything was on their shoulders, right?
Yep.
Then corporate email as a service came along, like Office 365 with Exchange Online. Now you didn't have to worry about mail servers, their operating system updates, their backup and management, whether the servers themselves were locked down and secure, encrypted. All of that was now handled by cloud providers like Microsoft.
And we all know the pain of Exchange servers. So I just get to consume that service, or I get to just use Office 365, but without having to worry about anything it takes in the back end?
Right.
In other words, using your analogy, I don't care about the making or cooking of the pizza. I just want to eat it.
Exactly. So now that's where we can come to desktop as a service. You no longer have to worry about all the stuff it takes to make the desktop. You don't have to worry about the servers. You don't have to worry about things like load balancing, the security, the patch management, the support of it all. All you have to do is be served the desktop. And once you have the desktop, you can do whatever you want with it.
Well, that sounds amazing. It sounds easy, but what about saving money? Is this going to save me money?
Okay, so there's a lot of savings to be had by virtual desktops, but you got to think of that savings more than just in terms of like an apples to apples comparison.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is virtual desktop is a game changer technology that can revolutionize IT processes and save time and resources by bringing never before seen security, scalability, and mobility. So while the cost of using virtual desktops may appear initially bigger to your organization and how it currently approaches desktop access, for instance, say you were buying just the cheapest Chromebooks that were out on the market given to your users.
Right.
Well, now desktop as a service brings you to a new level of technological functionality that you wouldn't have otherwise achieved without spending tons of money, tons of additional resources, and tons of time.
Okay, a whole new level of technological functionality. That sounds good, but what does that exactly mean?
Right. Well, what it means is you're not just talking about replacing desktop computers with virtual desktops.
Okay.
That's certainly part of it, right?
Sure.
But you're also talking about a paradigm shift in how you approach security, keeping data and access strongly protected, while at the same time giving users the freedom and mobility to work from any device, from anywhere.
Okay.
You're talking about removing the workload of building and managing and supporting all of those desktops, and you're talking about helping what typically is an overworked and understaffed IT department be able to now focus on users and to provide the quality of service that they strive to achieve.
Well, it sounds interesting. It sounds like it's solving all my problems. But what does that mean for my IT staff? Is going to have to go through training and learn a whole new process for launching virtual desktops? It took us so long to ramp up and have an understanding for our traditional desktop and remote users.
Right, so it's not complicated at all. Just like going to Pizza Hut and ordering a pizza, it doesn't take much learning at all. Accessing and distributing these virtual desktops is easy. With that said, this is a good time to take a look at this in action.
Okay. All right, so I've got my personal desktop here, and now I have a desktop or a corporate Windows 10 machine that I want to access remotely. What's my first step?
All right, well, why don't you share your screen so that our users can see what's going on your laptop there.
Good point.
And so there's actually two ways we can access that virtual desktop. One is using a desktop app that can be installed on Windows OS or Mac OS.
Okay.
And the second one is using a modern web browser like Chrome or Firefox or Safari on Mac.
Okay, so here I go. I'm going to open my browser. What would be my first step?
Yeah, so if you go into the browser, navigate to SafariDesktops.com/access.
All right.
And here you're going to sign in with your username and password. And this is where, if you're using multi-factor authentication to protect access to your desktop, you'll be prompted to verify your identity.
Okay.
So in the background of this is what's called Azure Active Directory. It's the same type of login as Office 365 for those of you that have an existing Office 365 subscription. So once you log in, you're going to be brought to your digital workspace and see what virtual desktops are assigned to you.
All right, so I see any desktops that I can log into right here on my workspace.
Correct. Nice. So you just click on it, you open it up, and then this is just like any normal Windows login sign-in. So if you're on your laptop, it would ask you to sign in. This is those exact same credentials. Again, if you're on Office 365, it should be exactly the same as your email.
All right. Oh, so the same. This is just my same password. I just have to remember one password, and I'm able to access everything. Is that correct?
Right. So it brings that single sign-on experience, just having one identity for everything.
Excellent. It reduces complexity, and as you know, we all dealing with so many passwords in our heads that they constantly are forgotten and having to be reset. This simplifies or streamlines that.
Right. So now you're brought into your Windows 10 virtual desktop right here in your browser, and it should be the exact same experience as if you're accessing this on a local laptop or desktop in the workplace. This is going to have all of your work applications and access to the data that you need, just like you were sitting inside your Office network.
Whoa, that's awesome. Okay, so we've got the browser. Is there anything else I can do, or do I always have to access it through the browser?
No, so like I mentioned before, there's a desktop application that you can use. So if your personal computer is Windows 10 desktop, you can go to the Microsoft Store and you can install the Microsoft Remote Desktop application.
No, I got it already staged up here, but to save time, so I've downloaded it. Now I can launch it, right?
Right. And so you're going to see that same screen, that same workspace that shows you the virtual desktops that are available to you. And the same process. You open it up, you sign into your Windows desktop using your username and password, and then
my O365 credentials, right? That I use for everything else. Oh, perfect.
Exactly. And then you're going to see that exact same desktop that we saw through the browser. In fact, all the windows that you have opened up from the browser is still going to be opened up on that desktop when you connect there. So it makes a good transition for, say you were borrowing a friend's computer, use the browser to access your virtual desktop, then you wanted to switch over to your device and pull up the desktop application. It logs you out of that browser window and brings up your virtual desktop here.
Excellent, excellent. So it's always just running in the background. I just have to get my window, as you called it, into it.
Yep.
All right, so virtual desktop's great. What happens if I wanted to access it via something like a tablet? So what happens if I want to be more mobile?
Right, so of course you can use a tablet. You can use an iPad or Android tablet using an app that can be installed from the App Store or Google Play Store, as well as by browser, just like your personal laptop.
All right, yeah, so I have my tablet here. I go to the Play Store, I download the app called Remote Desktop, very similar to what we saw on my other desktop. Mm-hmm. And I open it. Yep. And I should get the exact same workspace, right?
Yep, you'll see that exact same workspace and the exact same experience that you had on the laptop accessing your virtual desktop. So now from that tablet, you have that full Windows 10 experience with all of your desktop applications and tools that you need for work.
Excellent. And say I forgot to disconnect from my personal desktop and I had my tablet. Will it disconnect me from there and automatically reconnect me on my tablet?
Yeah, so it makes that same seamless transition.
Perfect.
So say you're working on your from your personal computer that you're logged into your virtual desktop, you want to move over your tablet, you log in, open it up there, it closes it on your personal desktop, boom, now you're walking with your tablet, go sit on the couch, continue the work that you're doing.
All right. Okay, so I got my personal laptop, I got my tablet. Let's say I had to run out and I'm watching my kid's soccer game and somebody needs something, or I'm at somebody else's house and I don't have any of these equipment, but I do have this one thing that we all carry, a cell phone. Is this another mobility device that I can use to access it?
Right, nowadays in 2021, pretty much everyone's going to have a smartphone.
You don't want to go without it.
Yeah, so with you wherever you go.
Sure.
So that same application that you used on your tablet or iOS device, you can use on your mobile device, right?
Excellent.
So you can open it up, you can access your virtual desktop there. But what's even more neat about that is, say you're working from the office and you just want to carry your phone. Well, now all you have to have is a monitor set up at your desk with a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
And then you show up, plug in your mobile phone using an HDMI hub. This one was only like 15 bucks.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this is basically connecting you to your TV via HDMI cable.
Right.
Or a monitor.
Right, your little monitor.
Okay.
We have it on a little bit bigger of a screen
Sure.
just so you can see. And now I have my full Windows 10 virtual desktop experience directly from my mobile phone. So I'm not carrying around a clunky laptop or my personal computer or a tablet. I'm carrying around the one thing that I take with me wherever I go, and I'm able to work from it just like I had my laptop at my workplace.
Oh, excellent. So all I need is a screen and an HDMI cable at that point.
Yep, and then if you connect a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, you have that full experience. So you can, right now I have a browser window open, I have PowerPoint open. You can see this is a full Windows 10 experience. And if I exit out of this, and actually you can see my digital workspace just like you saw on those other screens.
Oh, that's very intuitive. So no matter what device I'm accessing, I'm always going to have that workspace. It's always going to look the same, so I don't have to get confused no matter what device I'm on. This is awesome.
Exactly. And you can actually see from here that these are the apps that are on my Android phone. So you can actually see this is my phone that's connected. I am accessing this virtual desktop on it. So it's that same experience no matter what the device is, and especially from a mobile phone. It makes it super portable to easily take with you wherever you go.
Yeah, it even looks smooth and powerful. That's nice.
And say when you're done, if you want to continue working, you simply just disconnect the cable. You pull up that same remote desktop application on your phone. You sign in just like we saw before, and you can log in directly to your Windows 10 desktop here. And it can actually, with Windows 10, has a setting for what's called tablet mode that allows you to optimize the experience for accessing on this little screen. So now, if I open up tablet mode, and then if I hit the Windows menu, you can see that now the icons are bigger and it's optimized for being able to use touch input.
Right, from your fingers, we don't want the icons too small. That makes sense. And it's a good way to utilize that tablet mode that most of us probably don't use that often.
Right.
Okay, so we've accessed the personal laptop. We've accessed it from a tablet. We've accessed it from a phone. We can use a thin client. You mentioned improved security. How is that service staying secure, especially if I'm accessing from all these different personal devices?
Yeah, when it comes to security, there's two things we need to look at with these virtual desktops. One, these virtual desktops exist in the cloud, in a secure Microsoft cloud data center that they've invested billions of dollars into, both for security on the physical side, the digital side, and an army of security experts that are monitoring these environments 24/7.
I see.
So from that aspect, they can achieve a security much greater than most organizations are capable of creating themselves.
Okay.
The other thing that we need to consider here is when you're accessing a virtual desktop from like your personal computer, you're pretty much just opening up a window into that cloud environment. So none of the desktop files or data actually live on that device that you're accessing it from. And you can lock down things like the ability to copy and paste files. So if you don't want them dragging and dropping personal pictures into their desktop or other information, if you want to keep it locked down so that there's complete separation from those personal devices.
Sure, but you have the option too. If you have something on your personal computer that you need to transfer over, or you have a company laptop that is still secure, but you wanted to get onto your VDI, you can still do that as well, right?
Yeah, so we put that now in the hands of the IT, so they can control whether to lock that down or open it up.
Perfect.
It's completely their prerogative.
Makes sense.
So other security factors that we need to consider here is the advantages of advanced security features like multi-factor authentication. So
everybody's using that now.
Right.
I mean, if you're not, you're thinking about it or on your way to it.
Right. So if you're not aware of what multi-factor authentication is when I'm signing in, it'll actually want me to verify my identity. So one multi-factor that we use a lot is the Authenticator app. It'll say, hey, it'll pop up on my phone and say, hey, are you trying to sign in right now? I have to verify that, yes, I am trying to sign in, and then it'll use one of the biometrics of my phone. So for me, it's a fingerprint. Some people, it's an eye scan, however they have that set up with their phone.
Nice, that sounds secure. Okay, so there's mobility, security, and instant scalability.
Right, so you take those things and now you add in the fact that Safari Micro the managed services team is managing and supporting the environment. So you don't have to. And add Microsoft productivity tools and services like Microsoft Office, Office 365 email and calendaring, and Microsoft Teams. And then you begin to really see how revolutionary this can be, and how you provide and maintain desktops, and how employees work and collaborate, and where they work and collaborate from, and how your IT staff approaches security and responds to threats.
All right. So say I sign up for SafariDesktops. What does it look like from day one? What's my first step?
Say you want to get started today. We would just need to know what features that make sense for your use case, what applications you need, and how many users need those desktops. Behind the scenes, we've set up a cloud virtual network. We've set up access to your work applications and resources. We would actually build the virtual desktops and assign them to your users. So we're doing that all in the background. You don't see that. You just tell us who needs those virtual desktops. And say you want to be able to assign those users to the virtual desktops yourselves, we can give you access to a self-service portal to be able to do that.
Sure. So what you're saying is that every company's different. So they're going to think that their problems are customized. Can we come up with these customized solutions at that meeting, and we develop what they're trying to do?
Right. So we all know that no one company is the same as any other company.
Yeah, definitely.
They have problems that are very unique to their situation.
And they choose to solve them in different ways.
Right, and they need access to different tool sets.
Right.
So some may need the Microsoft suite, some may need certain security protections,
right.
Some may not.
Right.
Some may not want to utilize those things.
Sure.
And so if you want to truly be able to utilize virtual desktops to the best of the ability, we need to have that conversation with you to see exactly what you need.
Makes sense. Customize it for your needs, listen to your problems, and develop it for you. Okay, wonderful. Well, we've covered a lot. Let's see if anybody has any questions.
Right, so let's do it. You should see, if it's not open, there should be a Q&A panel there that you can open it up. If it is open, it should be to the right of your screen, and you can enter in your questions there. Let's see what people have to say. So how many users is Safari Micro currently supporting? So is this for virtual desktops or an actual environment? Well, I guess let me preface that with, so Safari Micro is both a value-added reseller, and we have a IT management services team, as well as an IT projects team. So our managed services teams are managing clients, especially in Office 365 environments, on-premise environments, virtual desktop infrastructure environments. So there's a lot of organizations already that they're working with. For BDI, we have several clients. I'd have to talk to management to see what the exact number is. I don't have access to that. So if you want to send that question to
our email, we
have cloudteam@safarimicro.com, and I'd be happy to.
But to kind of give it an answer would be, we actually use this device for our accounting teams. In other words, all of our accounting people access it via VDI or WVD. Mm-hmm. So that would be 15 people in the accounting department that have varying levels of access and varying levels of application use.
Right, and that's just
internally with us.
Internally use case. So we use it ourselves internally.
We practice what we preach in a way.
And this is not a brand new technology. So if the question out there is this an unproven technology? No. Windows Virtual Desktops has been around. It came into preview in 2018. It came into general availability in 2019. And in the COVID pandemic, Microsoft themselves internalized Windows Virtual Desktop and stuck their whole organization on Windows Virtual Desktops so that they can all be able to work from home. So this is a technology that is being heavily utilized, that's been heavily proven, and that we have been invested with from the start. So we've been working with it since it was in preview, and when it went to general availability. As soon as it went to general availability, we stuck ourselves on it, and we've been onboarding clients ever since.
Yep. So maybe some people out there are wondering, how much does this cost, or what's the price going to be for us?
Yeah, so price is a great question. If you go to our SafariDesktops.com website, you're going to see 3 tiers of pricing. Those pricings you can think of kind of as a placeholder, right?
An outline?
One is going to be like a vanilla flavor,
Okay.
of Windows 10. So there's pretty much just the Windows 10 full experience.
Sure.
We're still managing and supporting everything in the background.
Okay.
And then there's other options like adding advanced tools and security functionality.
All right.
For instance, Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection, which is going to protect your operating system from advanced threats, from malware and things like that.
Makes sense.
And then at the highest tier, you have the Microsoft 365 Business Premium type tools.
Okay.
It's going to give you email service, calendaring, Microsoft Teams for collaboration. We're using Microsoft Teams as a live event right now. You have the ability to chat and video and message your fellow teammates as well as people in other organizations.
Excellent, excellent.
And then there's even add-ons that you can add to that. For instance, our standard support is from within business hours, Monday through Friday. But if you need that 24-hour help desk support for it, you have the ability for an added cost per user basis to add that on.
Excellent, excellent. So what you're saying is, we talked about it briefly earlier, every customer is customizable, but this will give you a broad spectrum to get an idea of how much it costs for certain tasks that you might want to run. But to get to real pricing, we probably want to sit down with you, understand what you're trying to do, mix and match if we need to get the pricing that you're actually going to be billed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
And again, if you guys need use cases, we'd be happy to provide that for you. My cameraman is telling me that we need to share a screen so I can show you the URL. So we can get you use cases for this, and we'd be happy to have that conversation as well as testimonials of how virtual desktops have worked for other clients. So with that, we're running out of time. We want to keep this to a half hour, but like I said, if you have additional questions, please email us at the cloudteam@safarimicro.com. That should be on my screen right now. And if you want to try a free demo, go ahead to our website and sign up, SafariDesktops.com/try. Absolutely free. Now, this is not going to give you what the full Safari Desktops experience is going to be and all that it means.
Sure.
But this is going to give you a good idea of that mobility to be able to access it from anywhere, from any device.
Basically, the idea to kick the tires a little bit. And I know me as an engineer, you as an engineer, we always want to get our hands on stuff and see how it works. And coming from an understanding that this is just a demo, but it's going to give me an idea of how it works and how the mobility features work, right?
Right.
All right.
So definitely try the demo from a laptop, switch to a tablet, try it from your phone, try it wherever you go.
Thin clients, yeah.
Good understanding of how that works. And then if you want to book a meeting with us, you can do it directly from the website. Hop on, and we'd be glad to have that conversation with you. And we'll invite some of our management that can speak from the business side. If you have any questions about Safari Micro in general and how we're able to support and help you.
Yeah, that sounds easy enough. Well, once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. And don't forget to follow us on social media and stay tuned on the latest information about Safari Desktop. Email us, call us, book a meeting at the site, try a demo on the site. We're excited to work with you, and the solution is going to help everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Thanks, everybody.